the county exec, and no, the coroner's got, it's like 2% added each year over the last.
I wrote down for county exec 117.5, and sheriff 105, treasurer and county clerk 80. And I don't have a problem here. It's not right. Staff, I wrote down 95, 85.
For what?
Head coroner, but I don't have a problem with that. Chairman of the ledge, put 17.5, ledge 12.5.
All right. And what'd you say for exec?
Put 17.5.
Let me ask you guys, I didn't hear from Joe or Bob yet. Joe?
Okay, I don't want to comment on the executive, but comment on the sheriff. I feel 185 would be duties that he has. Would be adequate salary, and I think that would be 80 for treasurer, 80 for county clerk. Now, how will these change every year?
The only way they'll change is the last year of their term. Our language here will say that the personnel director is going to come to, personnel officer will come to us with a recommendation in that final year and say, here's where I think they ought to be at. We can take that, we can raise it, we can do what we're doing tonight.
So she can come back with a determination what she feels is fair.
Fair.
After this,
Not for the next,
End of the term.
at the end of the term.
end of the term.
So what you're giving these people now is what they're getting for their term. There's nothing in between. So when we talk about, I'm just gonna hypothetically say county executive, whatever number you want folks put in, I'm just saying, that's gonna be up next year. We technically might revisit it March of next year, but that is gonna be it. Buckets are gone, longevity's gone. That's it for the next, what's his term, 4?
4 years.
So that's gone, that's what it is for the next 4
At
years.
the end of next year, she'll come up with a figure, and that's what goes forward for the next 4 years of election for them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, for any position that's up. Ours would be this year, ours would be March, right now.
Well, it would have to be presented to you for adoption of the revised salary.
Right, and if nothing, if let's say that the person come back and said, I don't think there should be anything, and we all agreed, by doing nothing, the policy just lives on.
Right.
So just to clarify this, like you and Duke wanted, they're going to be running on their salaries. Their salaries are going to be, you know, what it is for the length of their term.
Right.
Sheriff, got 3 years left, so you go into this new thing for the last 3 years of this term, right? Whatever, okay.
For the term. Yeah.
Whoever the elected is, whether it's us.
I'm saying, though, the county executive, we should come into it
Right.
after next year.
Now he's gonna come up,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna put it in tonight, tomorrow, whenever we do this.
Yeah.
You could look at it again next March, because it'll be the last year of his term. You could do whatever you want, you're not gonna be able to, well, you could actually reduce salaries, right? Prior to the term.
Prior to the term.
Prior to the
not-
term coming up, you could do what you want. But let me just, Bob, did you want to say anything?
Just a few thoughts. Starting at the top of the county executive, the frustration is that the county executive is not the highest paid employee or person in the organization. That's a tough thing. It's tough to go from 85,000 to 115,000. I struggle with that, but I certainly see the importance of financially compensating your executive, at least as much as your highest employee. That's a hard
it is. You got some places at $6,000, but they're giving them health insurance. Well, you know, health insurance is $20,000. Then you have others that are,
So at this point, I would feel better leaving that the way that it is.
we'll remind you that Board of Supervisors raised it to $10,000. It's been at that number for, I think, 6 or 7 years now. 6 or 7 years.
Chair, some of the supervisors didn't even run for legislature because they made more being a supervisor.
Town
The
supervisor.
town supervisor, yes, that's correct.
Let me ask you, with everything that I've heard, because I'm all about getting through what we know we can get through, I'm gonna just skip the county exec for a minute, because there's all over. Are we in agreement with the sheriffs at 105, or at least is there a majority in agreement with 105?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cheryl, take notes. Are we in agreement, the treasurer and the county clerk at 80? Is that a,
Yeah.
I heard a couple of things. I heard 10 for the head coroner. I heard 95, 85? Or what
Yeah,
was that?
I didn't know it was a, you know, I would defer to Terry, but I didn't know there was I thought there was a different responsibility.
Not from what I'm seeing, no.
The responsibility that I could see, at least from prior budgets, would be possibly the head coroner. They both take care of their own paperwork. Head coroner might be responsible for the budget and actually bringing numbers in, but I don't know that that's happened. At least it hasn't happened since I've been.
The treasurer just like that.
Yeah.
Do we
So-
have a head coroner situation now?
You have to, according to the
The
charter.
charter states it.
One coroner has a district, my wife's district 2, the other coroner's district 1, which is population-wise, I think it's equal, but geographically, there's probably more area.
But right now, we have, it is either Joe Riley or Mrs. Quackenbush identified as head.
Yes, Joe. Joe is the head coroner. Has been for years and years and years. I think maybe assumed the position when Dr. Stortecki passed.
So how do you in the future do, and maybe this is getting a little off the subject, but what I'm talking about is how in the future would you identify who is the head coroner or the coroner?
By appointment. I mean, it's by appointment through the charter.
I think Mr. or Joe was just a senior, you know, had more time.
Because I believe Dr. Stortecki was, then when he passed, I think my wife had come in to take his place, but Joe was then had many years.
And, you know, they're getting called out at all hours of the night. It's not a standard, you know, during the day type of job.
They work well for each other and cover for each other. That's it. I mean, there's, other than that, they're doing the same, you know, but you need to have, according to the charter, you have to have a head. Well, let me ask you, just throw something in there that you think you all agree with.
I think there should be a difference between head coroner and coroner, whether it's $250 a year or $500 a year. I think whatever added, whether it's experience or added responsibilities.
I believe that if you're going to do that, because we have to by the charter, we should at least as a legislature say that we would like to see the head coroner as the one added responsibility, and the only one really, do the budget. I think that's fair.
Or coordinate the budget.
Coordinate the budget with whoever's Matt or whoever. I think every other department head does that.
So if the head coroner